Hey everybody, it's Tuesday again, and I see lots of names that I recognize, and thank you for being here. So glad to see everybody, and we have a lot of new people that have been joining thanks to some people sharing some of my classes and videos. So those of you that are new, welcome. I'm Stephanie with So Stephanie Says, and so glad that you decided to join us this evening. So usually on Tuesday nights, I just kind of talk about a technique or a project or an idea. Sometimes I'm asking you ideas. So I know, trust me, I know it's August. It's August. We're not at Halloween yet, but tonight's design is a Halloween design because I'm working on a spooky stitches retreat. So I have Halloween on the brain. Plus, I love Halloween. I probably have one pair of earrings for every day of October because I do enjoy Halloween and all the spooky fun that goes with it. So that's what my project shows, is that it's a Halloween. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there. Ron handed me my coffee, so I've got that ready. And you could see in the title that I said End to End Designs. And we all know I am not a quilter. I've quilted one project, and that was with Ashley from Dime. We did a series of lives, and I did one quilt from beginning to end. So I think that that's just part of it. I'm not a big, but I love some of the designs, and there's so many things that we can do with those end-to-end designs. So I thought I'd kind of talk about that a little bit. Things are flying. I know another crafty person. Yeah, Carrie, I think that MCP, he loves Halloween as much as I do. And I've created a couple things. And, traditionally we think of Halloween colors, of black and orange, right? And those are traditionally a lot of the colors for Halloween. And I love those colors. I love those colors of threads. Of course, I'm here in Tennessee. We love orange. Go big orange, go Vols. So that's another reason that I enjoy. And it's funny that you say that, Terry. I just did get a cheater quilter, and I'm doing edge to edge on it. So that was one of the reasons this was on my mind. And I was thinking about, why other ways to use it. Because if I buy a design, I want to be able to use it more than one way. But if you've noticed this year for Halloween that the colors are pastel, which makes my heart so happy. If you go to a Home Goods, if you go to Target, TJ Maxx, any of those, pink is everywhere. So this past weekend, I got to hang out with some friends, and we were at a local retreat house, and I took decorations there because I'm going to be doing a retreat, spooky stitches there. So I took some decorations to get ready for it ahead of time. And I love all the pink. I love all the ghost. I love what I call the cutesy of Halloween. So, pink is, very, very popular. So I thought that I would show some ways to do some of the designs. And, lime green to me is a beautiful Halloween color. I love the purples. I love the oranges. I love the classics, but I really do like the pastels and blending those. So talking about blending those, a lot of times when we're using an edge to edge or end to end, the one that I'm using tonight is Designs by JuJu, and it is called Halloween 1, and that is called End to End. So I left one of them in the hoop just to kind of show, and then I will move my camera around. So, I love being able to play with the different sizes, and I love that when you get those designs, you get everything from a 4x4 up to, I didn't even pay attention because I was using a 9x14. So at least a 9x14 design. I love that you can get the different sizes to do different things with them, because sometimes we want to just do a little block. Sometimes we're doing different sashes and different things with them. And they also have at JuJu's, she has where you can do blocks and sashes and corners. So I thought I would stitch out and kind of show some of the things that you can do with. So this was just a stitch out. And again, I'm going to change camera views in a moment. So this is just a 9x14, just one hole. And you can see how there is a loose loop, and you can connect to these. They'll connect when you add that next one. So you can build on it and build on it and build on it. So this is a great way to be able to show how to use that design. And that's one of the easy ways that you can do it. And somebody just popped in the comments. She actually teaches, Tammy Madden teaches with Dime and OESD. And she does an edge to edge class. And she was teaching me edge to edge. There's several different things you can use when you're doing that edge to edge. And again, for me, I'm not a quilter. I'm not going to be a quilter anytime in the near future, except for some, I like doing some small little projects, but I love the designs. So one of the ways that, I use the designs, a lot of times I like to go ahead and quilt my fabric. And that way, if I'm going to use it, of course, we know I love doing denim jackets and I love doing bags. Just by getting that design, I will do it with, sometimes this one I've done on a felt because I was just trying some different stitches out tonight. But I like doing it with a fabric and a batting behind it. And that way, when I'm ready to use it for an in the hoop bag, I already have my fabric, already have my batting. Then I just have to use that lining piece. So there's lots of different reasons why you can use those designs besides just for quilting. And I love that Designs by JuJu. She has them in what I think of as non-traditional sizes, because you can have them vertical or you can have it horizontal. And I really do love having those different sizes because we make different size bags a lot of times. So I enjoy being able to stitch it. So if I wanted to stitch this for a bag, you can see I stitched it one way, but I also stitched it again. And so that way this could be one part of the bag and this would be the other part of the bag. So I just gave myself a little space so that I could cut it. And then I could use those two pieces for, like I said, an in the hoop bag. So lots of comments are flying. And yes, there is a new snap hoop. I love my snap hoops. I think that they are such an easy way to use things, to be able to hoop very easily, especially when you're doing those projects when you just want to slide the fabric and then start the next piece and not have to undo our hoops all the time. I love that one, and and Tammy might can tell me the name of it in the comments. I love the one that I use adhesive. It doesn't have a top to it, so it's just a flat hoop. And I typically use it with just adhesive stabilizer. So one of the things that I also love doing is kind of using those backgrounds, those end-to-end designs as a background. So like I said, it could be that I am sticky hoop. Thank you. Mine is just out of reach right now, or I can't reach it. I love showing those stitches on just fabric and then using those to sew with and create with. So you can tell that I said that I am really loving, pink. So we unfortunately have a store they were going out of business. The owners are retiring. And so I was there and they had some gorgeous fabrics. I'm going to change in camera views just so I can show you some of the things that I've stitched out. And so that maybe you can see how gorgeous this fabric is. So let's see. It's so hard for it to show up, but this has got little gold. You can even see like in the salvage out has that gold in it. But it has this beautiful gold shimmer to it. And they had several, look, it even matches my nail polish today. lots of colors that really blend with that. So again, you can tell that I'm thoroughly loving the pink for the holidays. Well, this is something you probably wouldn't think that I would have out for tonight's topic. And this is Caesar's adhesive. So it is an HTV is what it looks like. So it has a dull side and a shiny carrier. So I use this on here. So I treat this like a heat and bond light. It to me is a little bit more malleable. So I just press this to my fabric and then I remove that carrier sheet afterwards and then I applique with it. So I thought that I could show how I appliqued with that in a moment also. So let me move that out of the way. So this is a 5x7 and you can see that I stitched it here and this is just stitched on some felt. And I love how the little carrot, I love the little witch's boot, and then you have the pumpkin, and then you have the ghost, and how those mingle. And then I stitched it again so that I would have one piece for one side of the bag and one piece for the other. And so that's one way that you could use it. Here it is, and this is a 9x14 size. And that way you can kind of see that whole design. And this will be glow-in-the-dark thread on the back of a jacket coming up very soon. So that was one of the reasons I was wanting to test stitch it to see how that really ran. And I love the idea of this as glow-in-the-dark and seeing how that could go. And then here is a 7x7 square. And I like talking about how to do that one. And I've got one more that I stitched out in pink. Let me grab it also. But that way you can see, how cute the design is and how you can flip it and kind of move that around. And I love how the angles are. That way, no matter what it is, something is right. And, that's hard to find a lot of times, to see a design that will go multi-directional. So I love that one. And then one more that I have. So this one is this is a 4x4. So it was 4x4 here, and then I duplicated it and added. So 4x4, 4x4, and I just connected it. And then I took that one, copied it, and then I mirror imaged it. So you can see on this side is the boot, and then on this one, here's the boot. That way that mirror imaged that design and it wasn't repeated. And then I took it again. Again, it's that 4x4, and I mirror imaged again. So we end up with a boot and a boot opposite. So that I really love showing how you can buy one design and how the different designs and sizes, how you can duplicate those. So again, that's that 4x4, 4x4. And then I mirror image those two, and then I mirror imaged it again to fill up a whole page, or a whole denim jacket might be it. Hey, Amy, so good to see you here tonight. I think you just got finished with an unboxing. So you can type in and tell all about and where people can find your Scan and Cut box, because we all know we all share the love and we all have things that we love to do. So that way you could see all the different ways that I use that. But then I want you to see, so I am, again, and this is hot off the press. And when I say hot off the press, it's 6:29. I pulled it off the embroidery machine. And this is showing up backwards. Let's see if I can tell it to mirror image. Let me see here. There. That way that reads correctly. Look, I figured out how to do something. So you can see that I have done that background stitch here. And then I just added an applique. And look how beautiful that new fabric matches that sweatshirt. And then I just did a gold thread on top. And this is a Designs by JuJu font here, and it is called Elsie App Alpha. And I will type that in just a moment. And it gives a satin stitch, and then it comes back with a topping stitch. So it really gives it a 3D kind of a look to it. What do y'all think about that pink fabric? How gorgeous is that? So now you can kind of see how I did the background, and then I just added the word boo. So let me know in the comments what you think about that one, because I absolutely love it. I think that that is the cutest thing. Of course I do, because, you know, I made it. Of course I think it's cute. But look and see how it looks here. I love that tone on tone. And like I said, you can see stabilizer. Nothing's been pulled from it yet. It was literally on my 10 needle. I have my Dream sitting right here beside me. And I just ripped that off at 629. I love tone on tone. And some of you have followed me for a long time. And you know I love tone on tone because I just love that classic look of it. So this sweatshirt is a Time and True from Walmart. And I love these Time and Trues. I feel like they just embroider so nicely. I love, if you have not tried these, I love how this is already cut open for you. And this is just a little bit longer. So if you love doing those side bows, and we know that there's 1,000 different designs that are out there now for these, you don't even have to do any of the cutting. It's already cut for you. So these are great to do for those side bows. I might look on the site and see if she has something Halloween that I could add to that piece, because that would look cute. But I do like having that, and I thought about doing kind of a trapunto with it. So now that got my brain kind of going, thinking about adding a trapunto piece to an edge to edge. So some of you, and I'm going to laugh and show you even, see if I can get, I'll show you my work in progress so that you can see my madness. So here you can see, here's my machine. I always use this curvy press box to hold my laptop, but here's where I write notes with a dry erase marker on my table, just so I don't forget to say stuff. And some people have storyboards or things behind them, but I always just use a dry erase marker, and then I can just wipe stuff away. But I like showing my method to my madness sometimes, because I know I'm a little bit crazy in how I do things. That way I let you join in on my craziness. So I love having different ideas for it. So I'm going to type in. So let me type in that font, because I absolutely love that Elsie App Alpha. And that was the applique font. You can see I'm reaching up here, applique font, and that is Designs by JuJu. And the other is called Halloween 1 End to End. There. Thank you for Teresa for reminding everybody. So those that are new, some of you may be watching me on Facebook. I have just started a YouTube channel. I would love for you to go over there, like and follow me on the YouTube channel. I also have Instagram and I have TikTok. Not that I do a lot with those, but you know, I'm learning, I'm trying, I'm doing. It is a lot of work. And so if you know people that are creators, a lot goes on behind the scenes of learning softwares and learning things. I have spent the morning working on my website. So it's slowly but surely getting built. And when I say getting built, it's mainly by me and a friend. And I'm trying to learn all I can about it. I have Tuesday Night Live this Saturday. I'm doing a scrappy notebook, and quite a few people have signed up for that. That will be embroidery, and it's a fun project in the hoop using scraps of fabric. So that will be what's coming up this week. And then on the calendar posted, I'm going to be at Mid-South Sewing. I'm going to be with Amy next week in Pittsburgh in Harmony. So I can't wait to be there. And Carrie, I may be calling. You never know. I might have questions. I'll be at Harmony she still has some openings if you want to come join. We are going to be doing 1 day of embroidery and 1 day with scan and cut. So it's going to be a great time. So you never know where I might pop up and what I'm working on. But you know that I'm always trying to be creative and think outside the box and show you ways that you can use those designs that you've purchased. Because if you're going to use them for a quilt, you need to find another way to use them. So hopefully tonight I was able to share some of that. Cindy, if you just want to send me an email that you want to join, my email is not very complicated. It's StephanieSays@gmail.com. And then I will send you a PayPal and a link to join us on Zoom Saturday at 10 Central Time. So there is mine. And Carrie, I am so sorry that you can't join us for that, but that reason is a very good reason. So sorry for your loss. And I hope that, June, I will shoot you a message and tell you where I'm staying to let you know where I'm going to be staying at that's close to Amy's. And Dee, I will be coming to Jeffersonville, Indiana in the near future. I am chatting with Studio, so we will get something together. You know, I love coming hanging out. To me, Jeffersonville's just like going home. It's right across the bridge from Louisville. So always feeling good. Michelle, Illinois, it kind of depends on which part. I'm chatting with someone, so we will see. I would love to come to Kansas City. I'm working, if you know of a quilt shop and you know somebody that needs an instructor, give them my name. I'll go. I'm loving to go everywhere. I have been very blessed to have some wonderful opportunities come up, and I'm calling and emailing and trying. So let's see. Donna, I'm not in Fort Worth anytime soon. I was there back in May, and I don't have any upcoming plans to be there. I feel like Fort Worth, Dallas I had rather drive downtown Chicago or Atlanta than I would to be in that area, because that Fort Worth area was a lot of fun. And Terry, I'm going to be seeing you very soon. And Brandon, Mississippi. I've been to Brandon, Mississippi, and I will have to think about where I was in Brandon, but I had never heard of it until I was invited to go there. I will be recording the class, Laurie, and give that to those for the month to be able to rewatch that. And no, Donna, Atlanta is not worse. So everybody, I won't keep talking about where I'm driving to, but hopefully I will see some of you very, very soon. Some of you I'll see this Saturday, and I'm looking forward to it. That Zoom link will go out in the morning, and I have some little notes in there, so read that when you get it. So everybody, I hope y'all have a great night. Happy Tuesday, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye, gang.